Okay. All right. Thanks, guys, for taking the time to be on here with us live, or if you're listening to the recording later. Today is Monday, November 12th, and we have a special guest speaker for our Team Liberate call tonight. Her name is Kelsey. Kelsey, we also have a Kelsey on our team. So I keep thinking of her as I'm saying your name. Kelsey Lawrence, is that right? Is that right? Okay. Kelsey and I connected in one of like the Northeast division people who are like pushing for elite, I think, group here on Facebook. And, we connected. We wanted to kind of share team calls and, just kind of get some new perspectives, new faces on the team, that sort of thing. And so I'm really excited about Kelsey talking to us about consistency with our business and, treating our business like a business and, hearing what she has to say. So before we start, I wanted to let you know, so we have Kelsey. She is a 1-star diamond, which is super exciting. That means that she has, below her, one of her personally sponsored coaches has rank advanced to diamond. So that makes her a 1-star diamond. She's a team leader on the leadership ladder. I posted about this last week because actually our Kelsey had gotten to team builder, and which is really, really exciting. And so I shared. That's my phone. I shared about Kelsey's, advancement, and then, what it meant to be on any rung on the leadership ladder. There was a link there to check out the specifics of what that means. Team leader is not easy. I think the biggest, or at least for me, the biggest hurdle to get to team leader was I think it's 5,000 accumulated team volume. So you need for the given month, you need to have as a team on that leg, on one of your legs, 5,000 team volume points, which you can imagine it takes time to build and build and build. And so, there's other qualifications for that rung on the leadership ladder. Should definitely check it out, and definitely always kind of be familiar with the leadership ladder in terms of where you currently are and what you need to do to kind of get to that next rung. The leadership ladder is different it's just another way to gauge your progress in this business beyond Success Club. Success Club is great, but it really only takes into account like your business and like what you are doing. Whereas the leadership ladder takes into account like what you're doing to build and grow your team. So, Beachbody wants us to work together. They want us to, come together as a team so that we can help that many more people. And so in order to advance on the leadership ladder, they make it a qualification that you have to do things, with your team and help your team advance their business also. So definitely check that out if you are unfamiliar with that. Also, Kelsey is Success Club All-Star for 2 years. Every month since you started. That's amazing. So every single month since you started, you've hit Success Club. That's incredible. So Success Club All-Star, meaning she's consecutively hit Success Club for the last 2 years since she's been a coach. She's married, she has 2 kids, she's a full-time teacher, and she's a cheer coach. So she's clearly very busy. She has a lot going on. I know a lot of us can relate to that. But somehow, some way, you are able to make this work in the pockets of time, Kelsey, and you're consistent, and it shows. And so we can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm going to get my screen working, okay? So just bear with me. Okay, so when we talked about topics, I just kind of thought about my team and the things that we struggle with. And I think that consistency is something that seems so simple, but it's the key to our success in this business. Personally, my coaches, I know that they will do really well sometimes, and they show up and they are on a roll. And then it's kind of like they just let off the gas. And then they want to know 2 weeks later, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. What am I doing wrong? And my coach has always told me, like, you will see the results of your labor 2 weeks, a month, 2 months down the road. So if you let your foot off the gas now, you might not realize it. You might not feel it. You might not notice it a bit, but you're going to. So you have to commit to showing up and being consistent, not only with your social media and your posting, but also with your vital behaviors. because that is where you're going to really see it in your business. Okay. So how are you consistent? By being a product of the product. I think it's so important that we get and fully commit to a workout program. If you are hopping around and you're not being consistent with your workout, you're not going to get results yourself. You're not going to be at your best, physically, mentally, all of the above. And it's going to show. It's going to show in your work. It's going to show in your posting, with your pictures and everything that you go forward with. Your vital behaviors you've got to be showing up consistently with. Okay. Something that I didn't realize at first. Okay. So I've been a coach for 2.5 years now. And I didn't really realize the power and the number of people that were watching my journey. Now, the bigger my team gets and the more people that my coaches are bringing on, it's not like you're a celebrity, but it kind of like they think that you have it all figured out, if that makes sense. And they're trusting you and they're watching you and waiting to see if you're going to, when you first start, are you going to stick with it? So maybe you're the person that you have gone gung-ho and you're going to take on this business. And then the next month, you're going to take on a different business. Like they're waiting to see if this is something that you're truly going to stick with, if you're going to be here a month from now, 2 months from now, a year from now. I literally have people that are joining me now that I messaged my first month as a coach. And, some people will jump right in and trust you right off the bat. But some people have to watch you in your journey and see you sticking to it. And I thought that was kind of silly when I first started, but it's very, very true. So I kind of stop and I think about, and I'll ask you to do the same. How long did you watch your coach? How long did you follow her journey before you decided that you would finally dive in and trust her? So we can't get discouraged when people don't just jump on. We have to be consistent, follow up, and make our presence known. And they will eventually be going to you. And if you're not being consistent, especially this time of year, if you're not being consistent right now, they're gonna want results come January, and they're gonna go somewhere. But if you're not showing up now, it's not gonna be with you because they want to see the consistency. And this is kind of crazy, and I think I'll talk about this later on, but my husband, he was employed somewhere, and even the guys at work, their wives would see my post, or I would be a friend with a friend, and they would see it, and they'd be like, what is your wife doing? Because I think my wife might want to do that. Just that seems so weird, but that's the power of what we do, that everyone notices. What do you share? And that is simple, but I think sometimes we make it complicated. Just be yourself. That quote, be your weird, quirky, crazy self, whatever it says, what I'm talking about. But don't be afraid to be the weirdo that you are. I am an English teacher. I'm a nerd. I embrace that. I have 2 boys that are 6 and 8 that daily try to beat each other down. I'm that crazy woman that is late for work, forget to pack a lunch. I own my crazy, but it is what it is. But that's the kind of people that I attract. Moms that are wanting something to stick to, not really believing that it can work, wanting results, wanting something to change, but they don't know what to do. And that's by sharing your story, by sharing your flaws, and sharing the things that you like, you will connect with people. Posting 3 to 5 times a day. And I've played around with this. Today, I've worked all day long. I'm a teacher. And then we have homework, and then we have cheer, and then something that happened with one of my friends and their kids. So it's just been a really tough day. But I've only shown up once today, but typically I show up 3 times a day. And so with me working full time, the way that works is first thing in the morning, I post my workout picture, or a Shakeology, depending on the time that I have and how my morning's looking that day. Then in the afternoon, so I can't post during school, that's frowned upon. So as soon as I get home at 3:30, I'll do some type of some kind of motivation. It might be a recipe. It might be a funny little mom quote, some kind of humor. And then that night I do my call to action. So I rotate sometimes my call to action for my challenge groups and my coaching opportunities in the morning or the night. But there is one per day, every single day. I share my story as far as why it works, how I make it work, because I am working full time. I am at the like Brooke can tell you that I've been trying to do a call forever, but my life is crazy and my kids have been playing like football. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we have church, Thursday we have football, and Friday I had football. So like life is crazy and everyone has a crazy life. Make it known to your followers how you make this work for you, even though your life is a complete chaotic mess sometimes. You can still, like I get up at 4:30 every morning, I press play, and then I go on about my day. As far as let me not get off track. Share how it works and helps you physically, mentally, financially. So I share, like, if I get up in the morning, this morning my post I think was about how I'm not motivated to get up and do a workout, but I know that I'm going to be a better mom, wife, teacher, friend, whatever, once I get my endorphins pumping. That it's not just something that I crave exercise. I don't crave it, but I know that I'm better when I do show up, and that's the stuff that I share. And I've already told you, be your weird, quirky self. The 10X rule, that's something that our team has kind of challenged us to do, and especially in this time of the year, because you have to put in that extra work. And if you haven't been in the business during this time, you'll see that you just have to show up, and you really have to go all in and double kind of what you're doing. And I feel like the past 2 years that I've kind of have 10x'd it, and I was easy to hit Success Club, and that just built momentum for the January month. So everything that you do now will show up in the following months. This is something that's just quick and easy that I'm going to do, but some of my coaches try to do this in the beginning, and it's just a tip. Don't, like you share this cute little stuff that comes on Facebook, or people tag you in it. Don't do that, because you want your feed, like that's your storefront, and you want people to be able to go to your page. If you add a friend, they're going to look at your page and scroll through really quickly to see if they want to add you, be your friend, or kick you out. And if someone adds me and it's just a bunch of stuff that's been shared, denied. So just keep that in mind. And so if you don't know, like, you can easily Google this, how to turn off your timeline review. But anyways, it's on the top right of your Facebook page, and I'm sure that you know this. I'm not trying to bore you. But you can Google it. Top left corner, timeline and tagging. It's just in the review. Like, you have the option to turn off. So people cannot, like, being a school teacher last year, or the year before last, the yearbook lady at my school, like, tagged me, and so people kept sharing it. And so I had like 9,000, don't forget to get your yearbook, on my Facebook page. And I was like, hold up. Like, I bought a yearbook. Please make it stop. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's just something that I think makes you more professional. And I think that makes you stand out among other coaches.
I totally agree. It's not something I've ever, I don't think I've ever talked about it before, but it's definitely something I've always followed for my own page. Mm-hmm. I would say 9.5 times out of 10, I will not accept the tag, or, I don't accept whatever, and I don't share random things. Right. But I might like them, but when I consider this a business and I see, like you said, my page being my storefront, my social media isn't for fun anymore. It's for my business. So yeah, I agree. 1,000%.
Yeah. Let me plug my battery up. Hopefully I don't go away. My kids again. Okay. All right. So what is my system? Because like I said, I do work full time. So if I'm being honest, I set my alarm for 4:15 every morning, and I get up at 4:30. I drink my Energize immediately. I go do my Bible study. I sit down and get my life together. I press play by 5 o'clock. And I am committed to that part, because that makes me better all day long. And that holds me accountable to my coaches, and that helps them be accountable. So you've got to commit to showing up for yourself. And that kind of has a ripple effect. So also something that I do, I can show you, I have on my tank, and I have on my leggings for tomorrow. I take the picture ahead of time, so that I'm not in the morning running around like a crazy person, even more, because I don't have time to be thinking, oh my goodness, what kind of picture am I going to take? So typically over the weekend, I go and I stage my pictures so that I have at least a handful to kind of play around with. Now, if something comes up and I'm like, oh, I need to do a picture with that way, I can change it. It's not set in stone. But tonight, after I get off this call, I'm going to take my picture, do the editing tonight so that I can post it in the morning. The challenge groups I do over the weekend at some point. Typically my day is Friday, just so that I have it. This sounds ugly, but I have that part out of the way and I can focus on my own personal business. I go ahead and schedule all of my challenge group information, my posts, my quotes, everything for the entire week on Friday. And that just makes it to where, I'm still very active in the group. And I do a rate your day every single night. And I go in and I comment on all the girls' posts when they show up and post in there. But that just takes that saves me a whole lot of time. Because in the beginning, I was trying to take my picture, post my picture, come up with something to say, check into my challenge group, put the curriculum in there. Like, it was just way too much. So that's just what works for me. I don't usually work the business in the morning. Occasionally I will if I'm ahead of my game, but y'all have gotten the point by now that I'm really not ahead of my game in the morning. So when I get home from school, I work from a list. I work from a tracker. This isn't the newest updated tracker, but I have like 20 copies of it, so I'm going to use them all up. But I work from that tracker, and I work it like clockwork. So you find a system and use it. You don't have to skip around. You don't have to find a new up-to-date version. Just find a system, a tracking system, and use it. So when I come home from school, I write out my list of people that I've liked or commented. Right now, the thing for me is Facebook stories and Instagram stories, people that are watching. And I literally, of course, I go to the ones that like and comment on my pictures, but I'm getting so much more engagement on my stories than anything else right now. And that's what I'm working from. And I just send them a short little, let's see, anyone that likes or comments. Let me find, I have all kinds of random notes all over. Follow-ups. This is my follow-up that I've been sending. So feel free to use it. It seems to be getting traction. Happy November. I'm so excited. I had to message you and let you know of the $20 off deal for November. These are people that I've talked to, of course. Now is the time to finally join me. What do you say? And like they're replying, yes, I need to do this, or no, it's Christmas. You're still going to get all that jazz, but that's just a post that's been working, so I'm throwing that jab in there. My personal development, I listen to podcasts, or I go, the group that we're in, I go and I turn the audio on while I'm getting a shower, while I'm putting on my makeup, while I'm momming. Like, I walk around with my phone in my robe while I'm getting kids dressed in the morning. And I also try to sit down and commit to a book. And if that's just reading 10 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day, or doubling up, over 2 days, that's what I do. Because I think it's so important, not just to hear it, but to also read it, highlight. Of course, I did say that I'm an English nerd, so there's that. I go in and I try to add, and I don't know what your system is, so I'm not trying to go overboard or anything, but and you might do more, I don't know. But I add 20 friends, and that's what I try to do daily. I go through their pages and see. I'm looking for typically moms, people that I connect with, or that I think I could be, best friends with, and I add them, and then I, kind of work from that list. So there's that. I just follow my tracker for my time of starting conversations, and I double it. Like this tracker I have says, add 3 new people, start 3 conversations, invite 3 people, and hey baby, I work from the list that I have. So if I have 25 people that are new or that have been following me on my stories, that's how many I send that day. I don't just pick 3, just because I'm trying to double it up during this time especially, and I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to move my business forward and not stay stagnant. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so after school, I do a post to social media, and again, that's like either a recipe or a funny little something, just a little mom humor. And then at night, I do my all-call. I do follow-ups at night while my kids get a bath. That works for me because that's just when they're safe and secure and they can't run away or do anything. So anyways, let's see what else I have on here. Yep, I told you that. All right. So on here, it has messaging 10 people every 1 to 2 days. And I told you that, like, right now, if they like my story, if they follow my story, if they consistently are following me, they're interested in what I have to offer. So I send them a message about, like, are you just showing me, thanks for the love, are you showing me support, or are you wanting more information on my November challenge group? Like, something kind of like that. I kind of fluff it a little bit more, but it's not a long, drawn-out message, because maybe I'm just strange, but I don't want a long, fluffy message. I want kind of to the point. And I feel like since they're watching me and they're spending their time, that it's safe to do it that way. It's not like a cold invite. Our team does 100 no's, so the race to 100 no's, we do that. The Power Hour tracker at the top, that is a tracker that I made for myself last year, and that is something that I used until I started using the new tracker. And then we've also done the Win the Week tracker, and that also works really well. That holds you accountable more on your personal journey because, again, if you aren't showing up for yourself, then it's going to reflect in your business. So treating your business like a business, when I first started this, I really just wanted to pay for my products. And then I got results. And then people started asking me questions, which scared the crap out of me because I was like, what am I going to do with it? Like, okay, yeah, I got results. How can I help anybody? What do I know? Like, I'm a teacher. I can teach children. Give me some 11th grade kids, and it is on. Like, I can handle you. I can control you. But, so anyway, but I started growing a team. Like, how does this happen? But it started happening because I was being consistent and because I was showing up. And people connect to just regular, ordinary people. And we think that they don't, but they totally do. People aren't looking for this little celebrity that has a perfect little life and the perfect little house that has never any drama or kids that they want to choke. Like, they want regular people. And that's what I was connecting to. And so I decided that I was going to go full in and I was going to work this like a business. I was going to clock in and dive straight into my challenge, not my challenge, but my coach training that my team offered. And I showed up. I treated it like a freaking business. And when I did that, I was gaining knowledge. Even like, I still didn't have it figured out. I don't have it figured out now, but I am consistently showing up to learn more and to make it better. So as soon as I started like advertising, and that sounds like a sneaky word, but as I like offering it and showing it as a business, like, this is my side hustle. This is I'm matching my teacher income hustle. It's not just a little something that I just get a free candle with, like, it's legit. It's paying cash for Christmas for my kids for the 3rd year in a row. It's taking my kids on a cruise that otherwise we wouldn't be going on. It's taking, like Monster Jam, if you're a boy mom, like little spontaneous trips that we couldn't do otherwise. It took my husband and I to Mexico, and we hadn't been there for 10 years since our honeymoon. So it is a business, and if you want it to reap the benefits, if you want the rewards of that, then you have to actually treat it like a business. You wouldn't be afraid to say, hey, I just started this new like brick and mortar job, like shop business. Like, I had this new clothing boutique. Y'all should totally come check it out. Like, we wouldn't be afraid to do that. And we're not afraid to, like, I got one of my kids' teachers. She has this super cute business online, and she sells these clothes, and I buy them all the time. You better bet I'm adding my friends in there. I'm like, girl, you have got to go check that out. It's so cute, and it's cheap, and it's good quality. Like, I didn't hesitate to do that. Why do we hesitate to do this? When you think about how it's impacted your life, when I think about how it's impacted mine, like, what are we doing by not sharing it? So there's that. I have on here, the first few months are spent figuring it out. I remember being so intimidated because it just seemed like so much at one time. And now looking back, like, I get it. That is just part of it. Like, you show up every day and you figure out a little bit each time. And then you're going to look back in a month and be like, oh, it really wasn't as complicated as I thought it was. So don't let it freak you out in the beginning. Roll with it. Trust your coach. Whatever she says, no matter how scary it is, no matter how, like, out of your comfort zone, dive in and just do it. Put in the extra time. So like I said, today was crazy, and I literally came home, cooked supper, did homework, and tried to console a friend. And like, my brain is not there, but I'm going to sit down tonight, and if it's just 20 minutes, I'm going to do my follow-ups. Like, I've got people that are messaging wanting to know, like, hey, I've seen your transformation. It's so awesome. Like, you've got to tell me more. So I'm going to tell her more before I go to bed. Like, I'm not going to leave that just hanging. So just make time for your business. If that means you have to get up 30 minutes early, get up 30 minutes early. If that means you have to stay up late after your kids go to bed, do it. If, like, for me personally, I work a lot of times, and especially like over the holidays, like next week's Thanksgiving, so we'll have a whole week off. I'm going to be like so on point with working my business hours. Like, I know that I'll get a lot done during that time. But if you're working 10 minutes a day, like pockets of your day, do it. Send messages, set a timer, send so many messages, send so many follow-ups. Just, figure out what works for you. Okay, I'm almost done, y'all, I promise. Stop caring what other people think about you and what you're doing. So you can't tell, I'm very quiet, I'm very reserved. Typically, like, this is so not me, okay? And I'm a teacher, and I'm an 11th grade teacher. So I was very hesitant and very reluctant to put myself out there. I'll never forget when I started posting in my sports bra. Like, I bet they were like, girl, you are like a whore. And I know that's how I felt. And they weren't. Like, if some people, haters don't hate. And that's just basically what it is. And I've realized that they're not writing my paycheck. They really, truly aren't my friends. They're jealous. So this short little story, I have a girl, this is horrible to say, but in my Sunday school class, and she's the devil, and I know that. But she was like, she's an elementary teacher, and I'm a high school teacher. We're totally different. No offense for elementary teachers, I don't mean that. But she was literally screenshotting my workout selfies and sharing them in a group with her teacher friends, one of which happened to be my friend, and so she put a stop to it. But my family, I was devastated. I almost quit. I was it just really hurt, because I was thinking, like, you don't know anything about what's going on in these groups. Like, these groups are so much more, like, we pray for each other. We are getting healthy. Like, it's just so much more than the haters even realize. But you know what? Like, this sounds really ugly, but she's still overweight. She reached out to me, like, the next week trying to be all nice. She got a 21-day fix off of eBay. She's not doing it anymore. I could have helped her. You know what I mean? So do not post and do not go about this worrying what people are going to think about you and say about you, because you have so much more to offer than anything that they could think. Like, who cares what they think? It's irrelevant. And I just look at my team, and I know y'all are the same. Like, if you're having a crappy day, you can go to that group. You know that they can, like, cheer you on, motivate you, pray for you. It's just incredible, and it's just so much bigger. And just remember that. Put that energy into your journey and your people, and realize who your people are. Because had I not done this coaching opportunity, like, some of my best friends now are my coach friends. So it's worth it. Like, just weigh it. Just do the work. You have to work if you want to be successful. It is what it is. If you just want to do this part-time, that's the kind of coach that you are. That is going to be a reflection in your paycheck and how you grow. Being successful, thriving coach is non-negotiable. Like, your vital behaviors, show up, do the work. It is what it is. Find your mindset. Find what drives you. Like, why? Find your why. I know you've heard that 1,000 times, but you have to really dig deep and find out why this is important to you. Why is it important to show up even when your kid is running a fever, puking, whatever it is? Like, finding time to show up. You don't have to be a professional. I'm far from it, but I have a thriving business. If you don't know the answer to a question, ask Google. You can literally find everything on Google. This is something else too that I think a lot of times people, like, we get on training calls, we take notes, and then we don't implement. Like, find one thing that works for you and just implement. Find a system that works, no matter how simple or fancy it may be, but find a system that works for you and just act on it. And I think I'm pretty much repeating all this stuff, taking advantage of training, but don't just stand still. Don't be in a stall. This is my personal thing. I treat the 15th as a deadline for Success Club. Typically, the 10th is my goal, and I want Success Club 10. And then I build my husband to Success Club. And And my focus is on my coaches and how I can help them hit Success Club, because I want to cheer them on. I get them in a group thread and we cheer each other on, talk each other through conversations, screenshots, like whatever it takes to build the momentum and keep them going. So there's no way to not hit Success Club if you are practicing your vital behaviors. So what you do this month will be reflected next month and the following months. So that's what I got.
That was awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know one of my, it's funny that you said that, because I had like one idea, one thing that I wanted to do, and then you said, find the one thing that you want to implement. So I haven't dabbled in Facebook stories.
Girl,
tell me about it, or anybody else on. I don't know who on this team, like who. I don't know. It was like an Instagram thing, and I haven't done it yet on Facebook, but I have a lot of friends on Facebook.
And I actually have more people because my following is more on Facebook.
Yeah.
And more people watch my Facebook stories. Like, I know that sounds crazy. I hadn't, I literally did this 2 months ago. Like, I wasn't even fool with it because I was like, no, I'm not. But I literally
post the exact same ones.
Exact same information.
But you have to post it. You have to actively post it separately because you have a business account on Instagram and
right.
Yeah, I know Danielle knows all that. Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's not that big of a deal. I don't care about that. I'm just trying to. I think that's good. That's my one thing. I'm gonna try it out. I don't know why I haven't. I don't know. I guess because I was like all Facebook for a while. I had a like page. I did the whole like page thing. It was hugely successful. Hugely. I have like 18,000 people on there. And then all the algorithms changed and it went to crap. And so then I went like 100% over to Instagram. And I guess I just never really went back to like, I still post on Facebook, but I haven't been inviting from there or anything.
Yeah.
So I think I can go back to stories because I feel like once, when you go live on Facebook, then it uploads to your stories. When I do that, like once in a blue moon, I get people who will like comment or like respond back to the stories. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I forgot.
I feel like a lot of times like they follow and they're seeing your post on Facebook, but there's that disconnect. And so
exactly. And that's why I love Instagram, because it's like you can be like your real funky self in the stories and then, your storefront. But it's like, why wouldn't I? Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. So that's why I'm glad that you said that. Awesome. I feel like I had something else to say, but then that just took over my brain, and now I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know. Anybody have any questions or any thoughts? Did Aaron have a question? You can't add music to your Facebook stories, right?
Well, if I have them on my Instagram, it still lets me load it, and I haven't gotten in trouble yet. So,
we'll get like a warning first, right?
I haven't. Nothing's. I mean,
what is like? I honestly don't watch. Like, what do like top coaches have?
I know Melanie does. I know my Val does.
I don't think you would get in trouble for it since it's already on your Instagram with the music and you just upload it to Facebook.
And it's 15 seconds. I mean, it's not the
right. Yeah, I know not to do that on your actual page, but stories is probably different. Okay, cool. That was awesome. Oh, that was my question for you, Kelsey. What's your big goal? Like you talk about your consistency and stuff. Are you looking to not teach anymore?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know when you're shooting to do that by?
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've met my teacher income, but my husband is self-employed. So insurance, that's my. Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely an issue sometimes. Cool. Well, I'm rooting for you. That's awesome. That's exactly. I don't know if we had talked about that, but I used to be a teacher too. And, I used to be a kindergarten teacher. So talking about the elementary teachers, no, it's fine. It's fine.
I have some really good best friends that are that.
No, it's fine. It's just like, I totally get it. Like I love the kids and all that, but like the politics of teaching just suck the fun out of it. It's not fun anymore. So I totally get it. Okay. Before we hop off, I just want to take a really quick picture. Can everybody smile for me? Okay. All right. Well, if we have any questions, Kelsey, I'll definitely shoot them your way, but I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. And I appreciate all of you guys for hopping on live, or anybody who is going to be watching the recording later. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.